عشان مفيش فيديو. Good afternoon. We need to check the voice is clear to everyone. Please write in the chat if the sound is clear now. We are going to start in 1 minute. Okay. Okay, great.
Do you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Hi, Osama.
Hi, Junaid.
Yes.
Hi, Arnold.
Hello?
Okay, hello. The voice is clear for everyone?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Okay, great.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. So we will start now.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Okay, great. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to welcome you to our international webinar, Thermocold Energy Efficient Solutions, provided by 365 Ecology. This webinar is presented to you in collaboration between 365 Ecology, which work on provided integrated energy efficient HVAC solutions, and Thermocold, which is a leader in southern Italy in the HVAC market for design, manufacturing, and distribution of HVAC systems. The speakers today will be as following. From 365 Ecology, we are honored with the presence of Engineer Osama Bkhit, 365 Ecology Managing Director, and I will be hosting the webinar, Shaima El Hamalawi, Head of Engineering Department. From Thermocold, we are honored with the presence of Mr. Giovanni Renna, Thermocold General Manager, Engineer Arnaldo Renna, Export Sales Manager, and Ms. Lucia Favuzzi, Marketing Manager. We will introduce Thermocold product range and discuss the heat recovery system description, components, and application. And finally, we will be ready for your questions and clarifications. Before we start, it would be great pleasure for us to hear a welcome word from Engineer Osama Bkhit and Mr. Giovanni Renna. Engineer Osama Bkhit will start now with us.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to our webinar. This is Osama Bkhit, founder and managing director of 365 Ecology, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. We are very excited to host today's webinar with one of our main partners of success, Thermocold. Today, we will be sharing and discussing the energy efficient HVAC solutions that Thermocold offers, and how we at 365 Ecology are able to apply these solutions in real-life applications in markets like Egypt. We are constantly building opportunities of international cooperation with reputable brands that enable us to provide the Egyptian market with universal high standards and quality. This commitment we have to quality and better building efficiency is what encourages us to partner with Italian brand and become the official and exclusive distributor for Thermocold in Egypt. Thank you all for taking the time to be here with us today. I will leave you now with a small video of one of our latest projects, Dubai World Port at Al Ain Al Sukhna. This is one of the most significant national projects happening now in Egypt, and we were contracted to work on the HVAC solutions where we think thermal and best results. Is the video now.
Okay, thank you. We will share the video right now. Okay, we are back again. Also, we are very proud for the other reference projects for us in Egypt with Thermocold. Thank you, Engineer Sama, for your contribution with us and for your work.
Thank you.
And now Mr. Giovanni Rana will start his work, and before he starts, we will share with you a video for Thermocold. Okay, Mr. Giovanni. Mr. Giovanni, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We will be honored to hear your work.
So first of all, I have to thank you. I am very proud to participate to this meeting, but I have to say something that for me is very, very important. Your initiative is, in my opinion, considering a very wide range of distributors that we have all over Europe, Africa, Middle East, South America too, is the first time that I assist to this kind of initiative. So in my opinion, your company is a benchmark for our network distribution. And I will suggest to many of them to learn something, because I believe that in the life, every day you have to learn something and never arrive. So I am very, very proud, and thanks to you for this initiative.
Thanks a lot. We are very proud for your participation with us.
Now, also because it demonstrates, in my opinion, the vision of a company. And when a company has this very long-term vision and wide vision, it means that there is one of the best one of the top priority in assisting also your customer in same way. So I believe that the level of support that a company like this can provide to the customer is a very top level. So I believe that for a distribution company like you, this is very important for the future. I have seen since from the beginning, from Arnaldo as the first contact with your company, that the base of these companies was very solid. So it's, and I am sure that our collaboration, our partnership will have a very long-term partnership, will be a very long-term partnership. So regarding Thermocold, very, very few minutes because the history is too long, so I don't like to annoy everybody. But it's important to know from where Thermocold comes and now where is Thermocold. Because the history of Thermocold is not the history of a small company that is quite usual in Italy, established in a small garage with just few people. No, the history of Thermocold comes from Clima Veneta. So Thermocold was established by Clima Veneta. At the time, was established in 1994. And we can say that I started from zero with Thermocold. But I was the sales and marketing manager of Clima Veneta. At a certain point, we needed to have in our portfolio product also the small units, because at that time, Clima Veneta has a sort of commercial agreement with Clivet. Clivet was specialized in the unit up to 100 kilowatt and Clima Veneta over 100 kilowatt. But frankly speaking, the expansion of Clima Veneta was much more bigger than Clivet. I arrived in 91, and in 91, the revenue of the company was 45 billion lira at that time, no euro, lira. I left the company at 95 billion lira. So in a very short time, the growth of Clima Veneta was very, very huge. So we had the needs to cover also this portfolio with our own product. So the decision was to create another brand that the main specialization was to produce the same product of Clima Veneta. Or Clima Veneta has been one of the top manufacturers, not only in Italy, but also in Europe at that time. So we established Thermocold, and I have to say that the two main drivers of the company since from the beginning has been the market driven oriented. That was the mission of the company. But for me, much more important, and later we will see why also, has been to do all sorts of high-tech products, energy. That's in the period of 94 when the terms like green economy, energy saving was not so common or used. So probably we anticipated to match the market, but since from that time, our aim was to offer to our customer technology and not just products or mass market products. In the history of Clima, so as I said, you 94, my partner decides to sell Clima Veneta to the DeLonghi Group. DeLonghi was interested also in the acquisition of Thermocold, but we decided that was interesting business Clima Veneta. I'm back to Bassano, but also in our website, we have been very innovative. I have to say that for a long time, we have been a benchmark for the Italian manufacturers because we anticipate the market electric boiler. We presented in 96 the electric boiler is the 2+2 pipes. We have been on all the chiller. We have been the first in the multi-scroller solution in the R410. So there is a long list, so it's not the case to talk about all the list of the innovative solution that we provide. And of course, we have been one of the pioneers for the four-pipe system, because of course, coming from Clima Veneta, we had a very wide knowledge for the four-pipe. So since '96, also we produce our own line of four pipes. And I have to say for I-17 that this kind of solution, the four pipe, the electric boiler, all the wide range of heat pumps, because we had also in the past heat pumps with the screw chiller, was very attractive for many big players into the market. So on 2014, we started a cooperation with the Train, because they were very, very interested in this market of the four pipes and heat pumps. It's strange to say, but they didn't have this knowledge. So they were absolutely the first in chiller, but in heat pump for pipes, so it was something not very well known. So they asked us to commercialize, like OM, our range. So the main range for pipes and heat pump. So this collaboration has been very great, and with a very interesting performance for them, because the volume of the sales that they have done from 2014, well, end of 2014 to the end of 2016, has been very, very impressive. So of course, you have to consider also the powerful of the brand. One thing is to sell under Train brand, another thing is with the Thermocold brand. So, but the product was the same, the technology was the same, but of course, Train is Train, and so the volume of the sale was fantastic. So apart the volume of the sales was very interesting for them, and so they were very, very impressed by also the quality of the products, the skills and knowledge of my team, of my colleagues in Thermocold. So because we were not a big company, but the organization of the company was absolutely similar to a big company. So we have all our protocol, procedure. So we were not so far from a multinational organization, of course, with the limits of the people, of the number of the people, of the things to say. So in 2016, they asked us if we were interested to sell the company to the Ingersoll Group, because the owner of Train was Ingersoll Group. And frankly speaking, was a period where it was important to make a decision, because as you see now, but also 3 years ago, there were a big acquisition from the multinational companies. So I remember you that Mitsubishi, Clima Veneta. The time was changing. The time was changing. The economy was changing. The market was changing. Also, we had to face in a very professional way, because for us the certification is something very important. So the certification is not a trick. The certification must be something providing the high reliability to our customer. But of course, with the medium company, it's not so easy to face all these guys, if you like to work in the right way, of course, because there are other companies, they make other choice. So with the meeting with my partners, we decided that was the time to look at the future, because frankly speaking, my aim is to see and to look at this brand surviving behind me. So I was not in the position to say, okay, we go ahead, when we finish, we finish. No, for me it was important to ensure to this company the future, to the company, to the people of the company. I believe that is something much more ethics, respect to other decisions. So the partner decided with me to make this sale. So on 2017, we sold the company to the Ingersoll Group. But very important is to say that not according what the people said at that time, because everybody was telling that now Thermocold disappeared, the brand disappeared. To say what the American agreement was very clear. Thermocold in our agreement was another brand of Ingersoll Group with his own product, his own distribution, his own organization. Also because I have to say that the market of Thermocold is a little bit different from the train market. It's better to say the commercial and marketing approach of Thermocold to the market is quite different from the train. So there are no conflicts. And I have to say, and I like to stress that we are absolutely independent from the train organization. But at the same time, I have to say what has been the most important support provided by this big group to Thermocold, because we had the access to all the procurement of the group, like Train, Thermo King, to the engineering team of the group, so the lean manufacturing of the group. So I have to say that for us, apart that we are very proud to be part of this group, but for us has been a very, very important improvement. Just for giving you an example, we reduce the time for the launch of new product of 80%. Also, just because there is this very, very important synergy with the group. After the acquisition by Ingersoll Group, on this year, in 2020, so Ingersoll Group was separated in two parts. Because in Ingersoll Group, we had two main businesses, the industrial business and the climate business. So the decision of the board this year was to separate the two businesses. One, the industrial business remained with the name Ingersoll, but is completely separate from the rest. The other part, that is climate, where there are all the climate companies, is called Train Technologies. So today, Thermocold is part of Train Technologies. Also in Train Technologies, we are all the companies dedicated to the refrigeration, air conditioning, etc. So like Train, like Thermo King, like American Standard, like ICS, like Thermocold. But the characteristic of Thermocold and and I have to say that all my people, all my team has been a very great job during this year, because believe me, it's not so easy to integrate a company of this size in a big not this integration that everybody believes. So we will past, we have a 15 platform of product. We reduce at 4 platform. So you can imagine what means is it's in terms of industrialization, quality, improvement of the quality of the product, the standardization of the product, the lead time. I think that today we are a company with the shortest lead time in the market, into the market. That is very important for the customer, because they have time to take all their decisions, and they are sure that they have the support of the distributor and the company in satisfying their needs in a very short time. So I think that for Thermocold has been a big jump, and I am sure that for all our distributors that they will follow us and will support us, the future will be great. So I don't want to take more time. I believe to have said everything about Thermocold.
Thank you very much.
The past was Cleveland Veneta, the future is Train Technologies. In the middle is just history.
Thank you, Giovanni, for your sharing.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Giovanni, for it was very great to share with us the story of your success and the history of Thermocold. And we are really pleased to be partnered with Thermocold. It's a great honor for us.
I said you are the best now.
Sorry, the voice is not clear.
You are the benchmark for Ronaldo now.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. It's a great honor for us.
Yeah.
Hope to see you again very soon.
I hope to see you in Egypt. I like a lot Egypt.
We are waiting. We are waiting for you once the circumstances come well.
I hope soon as possible.
Very soon. Thanks a lot, Mr. Giovanni, for your work. And now I would like to talk about some points. I want to highlight that we are very proud of our partnership with Thermocold to offer high quality products like Mr. Giovanni just mentioned. Thermocold cooperate with many high quality global partners to provide high quality products like Danfoss, Emerson, Zilabeg, Dixel, and ABV. And other well-known brands. Lucia will talk in more details about this part in her presentation. Also, we are very proud with the high-quality products of Thermocold with the competitive edges in our market.
Yes.
Now we have, sorry, okay. Now we have many reference projects for Thermocold in Egypt. Like DP World that was mentioned earlier on our video, where we have done the installation and the maintenance for the project. They were done by 365 Ecology. Also, we have other projects on our pipeline for hospitals, factories, and admin buildings. Thermocold actually gave us great support in this part. All the team were great. And Arnoldo especially had a great contribution with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this.
No, as also Giovanni said, it's a big honor and pleasure to have started this cooperation, this partnership together. And for sure, we are doing a great job together as a team from Italian side and Egypt side to grow together in the market. As our general manager mentioned before, for sure, in this not easy period that we live together in the world, we accept the challenge, and thanks to the group that we are part, we receive a big support from the procurement that manage all the supplier. So as you mentioned, and Lucia will mention, like SWEP, Danfoss, Dixel, Emerson, and the others. And we receive a big support in this period that was not easy. In this way, we was able to receive the same high quality components for our unit on time, and we was able, thanks to this big support, to satisfy the request of the customer that receive unit on time in these 3-4 months for fighting the emergency. In fact, thanks to our flexibility and fast support, we was able to get important order and reference in Europe for hospital, for special laboratory for creating, for example, for producing mask or sanification or medicine in Italy, but also in other countries like Macedonia, like Belgium, like Kazakhstan, using the Unity portfolio, but also with the big flexibility thanks to some unit on stock. And for sure, the team worked very hard in this period. Everybody from the technical department to the warehouse department, from the logistics, everybody accept the challenge, and we work in this period at full capacity, satisfying the request of the customer that needs the unit for this special application that was allowed to work in this period.
This is a great contribution from your side. Maybe we can share some pictures now for our audience to see your contribution and pictures. Okay, it will be great. And now in the factory, you are working with full capacity again, and the situation is better, as we all know. This is good.
Yeah.
We are happy for this.
Yes. We work also before, because we produce, as I told you, different unit for some applications, some building that was allowed to be open, like hospital and other type of building. From the 4th of May, we are full working, and the production is working normally. The situation in Italy is going better day by day, following rules, new procedures. Also, our company is following strict rules according to the Italian government. But for sure, the situation is better, and I am sure that following the rules, the situation in our country will be better day by day. Absolutely.
We hope it gets better and better, and we are looking forward for more success together.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I didn't mention what we did together. For sure, DP World project is the most important reference that we get together, but there are also other important projects acquired, like, for example, an important replacement of an important competitors, and we
But we will not mention the name of the project right now.
No.
Okay.
we installed a nice yes, multi-scroll chiller with high efficiency and that project with condensing unit. I'm every day in contact with Mohammed about our pipeline, and I know that the commitment is very high from both sides, because, as I told you, I think that we are a team with the big T, and from both sides.
Yes. We really appreciate your cooperation. Also, your lead time is very competitive in our market. Our average is 2 weeks, and sometimes it could be less than 2 weeks, which is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Agree with you. This is another important key aspect for satisfying the requests of our partner, but also the customer of our partner, that are the most important people to satisfy. And so unfortunately, we are in different countries, so a little bit far, and we need to be on time with the lead time to satisfy the request. And this is possible thanks to the big support coming from the group, because the procurement has made a great job for receiving on time the materials coming from the supplier, and the great flexibility of our production and our logistic and production department here in Bari for making it possible. The sales are in the middle, and are always, as your team know, try to be always on time and always fast to answer to the question that's coming from the market, because the philosophy of Thermocold is try to be always on time, always fast. And we know that we are working directly with you, but from the other side there is a customer, there is an engineering office that is waiting an answer. So we need to try to be faster than the others, more fast than the others.
Actually, your commitment and agility really helped us a lot. Thank you a lot, and many thanks for your team.
Thank you.
Looking forward for more success together.
Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now we will start the presentation part with Ms. Lucia. Okay, can you hear me? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We will give you control now. You will start the presentation. Okay, thank you.
So I've prepared for this nice audience a presentation because our goal is to briefly give you an overview of Thermocold value. So we want to show you our products, our innovation, and what we do. Basically, air-cooled chillers, heat pumps, modular solution, total recovery systems, but also inverter solutions. And we want to explain you our effort for energy savings. Also, at the end, we will give you a very short overview of the control systems we develop. And we will finalize our presentation showing what's our plan for the rest of 2020 and for 2021. So all the new products we are going to develop and launch in the coming year. I'm going to share the presentation, so just let me know as soon as you can see it.
It's clear now.
Okay. Well, let me start. I will try to go very fast because we have a lot to say. So we will see everything in terms of Thermocold value during this presentation. But at the end, if you have a question, do not hesitate to ask. We will be happy to reply to every question. So let's start with the product overview. And before to go in deep in the products, I would like to spend some words describing our supply chain policy. As you can see, these are our main suppliers. We use very big suppliers and the best international suppliers on the market for sure. So basically, we are talking about EBM for fans, Orzia Labeg, ZWEP for heat exchangers, Emerson and Danfoss for compressors, for coils, HTE and Eurocoil or Climetal, and for controls, Dixel and Carrel. So basically, we are talking about only the best international suppliers in the world. And that's why we didn't suffer the emergency in the last month due to the fact that we can count on very big international suppliers and on a very wide procurement team in Trane Technologies. That's the key value for our flexibility, quality, and global support. Another important thing is to mention our certification. So our quality system is certified since 1996 according to the ISO 9001, and this international standard of course was renewed every year, and we are certified for design and construction of heating, ventilation and air conditioning and refrigeration unit. But I want to mention that in our culture, the continuous quality improvement is a very strong value for Thermocold. It's important also to mention some standards, some European standard. I don't know, I prefer to give you a little overview of eco-design. The eco-design is basically a European directive that regulates the eco-friendly design and prescribes minimum requirements for energy efficiency and emissions. What does it mean? It means that all the products using energy must be compliant to specific requirements, specific levels of efficiency. The goal basically also is to improve and to reduce the overall energy consumption in the world. And also HVAC equipments are involved in this European regulation. We have been in the front to bring high efficiency and sustainable products to the market. And for us, this regulation, which is mandatory for law, is not only a legal obligation, but represents a really concrete opportunity to sign a turning point in the HVAC market, because we will be able to direct the sales toward higher efficiency units, higher efficiency devices. So by selling and installing, by first of all developing and selling and installing higher efficiency product, altogether we will be able to save energy, and at the end, for sure, we will contribute to save our planet. So let me jump to the product portfolio. I will not spend so much time on this slide because there's a lot to say here, but I just want to mention that we produce basically air-cooled and water-cooled chillers and heat pumps, but also air-cooled high-temperature heat pumps, air-cooled multifunctional units for 2+2, 4 and 6 pipe systems, and later we will see in details the operating mode of these special systems that exploits the energy recovery. But we also have a full product range of condensing units and condenserless units, basically from 5 up to 700 kW of capacity. So a very wide product range. Every unit is equipped with scroll compressors, and till now we have R410 range, but we will see in the coming slide what's coming in next year. Another important thing to be mentioned is the Eurovent certification we can ensure. Thermocold participates to the Eurovent certification program since 2014, so it's 6 years nowadays. What's Eurovent? Eurovent is a private company that certifies performances of HVAC units. And we decided to join Eurovent certification program to give more guarantee to our customers in terms of performance and quality of our products. What does it mean? It means that all the products we have seen in the previous slides are certified by Eurovent. All performances are real performances that are measured in a Eurovent certified lab. But we also have certified our internal lab. So in our factory here in the south of Italy, in Bari, we have a big laboratory testing lab, which was officially recognized for the stability and accuracy of measurement according to the EN standard used by Eurovent to measure performances. Finally, what does it mean? It means that all chillers and heat pumps in our catalog, but also multifunctional units for 2+2 pipe systems or 4 pipe systems are Eurovent certified. You can discover the list of products at the website, at Eurovent website. Let's go now more in deep and analyze some products details. I would like to start from the chillers and heat pumps range from 20 to 700 kW of capacity. And then we will see all the other products more in details. Let's start from air-cooled chillers and heat pumps equipped with scroll compressor, Max EA and Max HPEA. This product range is from 70 up to 50 kW of capacity for the cooling only version. And we have an heat pump version from 17 up to 80 kilowatt of capacity. I'm trying to help myself with the laser pointer, if you can see it now better. This product range is available as cooling only, as a heat pump, but also available in condensing unit version 2. It's important to mention that all these units have a very high efficiency class, and we are talking about a seasonal, very high seasonal efficiency, both in heating and in cooling. We are talking about SCOP and SEER, which are the new seasonal efficiency levels officially recognized also by Eurovent to measure part load performances. According to this seasonal efficiency, we can rank our units in A+ and A++ efficiency class. It's important also to mention that when designing our units, we take care about the operating map. So designing unit for a very high energy efficiency means also designing unit to grant a very wide operating map, both in cooling and heat pump mode. We also invested a lot to reduce the refrigerant charge, which is for this product range. So we are always talking about 20-80 kW of capacity. So small commercial, medium commercial application. So we decided to invest a lot to develop this unit, also by designing a special coil able to reduce the refrigerant charge. And on cooling only units, we use micro channel coils. For heat pumps, there is the possibility also to produce hot sanitary water. And in general, let's say that the big advantage of this unit is that have a very, very small footprint. Other key features. Of course, to grant very high efficiency, we need to provide our units with standard fan speed modulation. And additional optional can also increase the operating map of the unit basically by adding low ambient kit, we can reach low ambient operation both in cooling and in heating, and all units are able to work at plus 45 centigrade at full capacity, and to deliver in heating mode plus 55 centigrade. Of course, I will say it here, but this is valid for the full portfolio. We can offer several hydraulic versions, single pump, dual pump with the small, low or high head pressure. We can also equip our units with a water tank. We can offer low noise or super low noise version. This is, let's say, valid for the whole product portfolio. Let's go now more in deep. Let's go ahead with the bigger units. We have the Domino range from 55 up to 135 kW of capacity, available in cooling only version, heat pump version, but also condensing unit too. This unit is a single circuit unit. Let me say that, of course, this is one of the key products in our portfolio. And the most important thing is that this design is a modular design, and we will see in the coming slides why we say modular design for this unit. First of all, dimensions. We are talking about a full product range, so cooling only, heat pump, condensing units, 11 models, 11 models developed with a single frame, that is the one you can see in the slide, having 1 meter's width, so ultra compact design. Easy to maintain, easy to handle, with a full access and easy access to all components to facilitate maintenance activities. Just think about that the electrical panel can be removed to grant access to the compressor area. So first point, ultra compact design. Second point, modular concept. What does it mean? It means that these units can be installed with the modular configuration, as you can see in the screen, by just purchasing this optional kit that allows to connect the units, as you can see in the screen. So by purchasing multiple units, you can have a single system. It's very easy to be handled. It's just a matter of hydraulic connection and very easy and quick to be installed. By adding our multi-manager controller, those units you saw in the previous slides, so can be managed as a single system. So we can grant a full modularity concept by installation point of view and by electronic control point of view. Using our multi-manager controller, we will see in the coming slides more in details, it is possible to combine up to 6 units of equal or even different capacity. So this kind of system is suitable and ideal, for example, if you need to replace existing units, if you need to install HVAC system in buildings in historic centers or buildings in static problems where it's difficult to handle the units, it's difficult to transport the unit. Another important topic is that this system is suggested also if you need to expand the plant capacity. So for example, now you need 100 kilowatt of capacity, tomorrow you will need 150. So no matter what, you just purchase a new unit, install a new unit, and manage the full system with a multi-manager controller. So it's a very flexible solution that is strongly suggested also in case plant needs backup systems, or you need to ensure continuous operation without any shutdown. Think about process or think about hospitals. This is a very interesting solution that we can promote and offer. And as just mentioned, it's just a matter of purchasing hydraulic connection kit and a very small controller, and from multiple units you will be able to manage up to 6 different modules with a single controller. I will go faster, and because we have a lot to say, and at the end I will answer to all main questions. So till now, we saw the range up to 130 kW of capacity with a single circuit. So above this capacity, we go with dual circuit solutions up to 680 right now, but we will see later that we are extending this capacity up to 900 kW, more or less. So this range, AWA range, is composed by air-water chillers and heat pumps with plated exchangers and microchannel coils for the cooling-only version. We always think about scroll compressors, and also heat pumps range is available. Both of them available in condensing unit version. And we are also going to extend this range developing single circuit models from 130 up to 200 kilowatt of capacity. What to say about the design? Of course, high efficiency, COP up to 3.25, so A class according to Eurovent. In heating, EER is ranked in B and A class according to Eurovent, but if we look at the SEER level, the seasonal efficiency level for all our chillers, we are talking about very, very high efficiency levels that is possible to be granted thanks to the multi-scroll solutions. As you can see from the design of the unit, one of the most important things is how easy it is to maintain the unit because it grants complete accessibility to all components. So I just mentioned efficiency. Of course, all units can grant a very high efficiency, but also extremely compact footprint despite easy maintenance. All units are equipped with the scroll compressors by Danfoss, and they can grant operation at high temperature up to 46 centigrade at full load of capacity, and that is a very important features. We also have indoor chillers equipped with EC plug fans. AWC is the product family. AWC chillers and heat pumps can be offered with the capacity range from 50 up to 250 kW. All of them, of course, are equipped with high quality and high efficient components because they are compliant to our eco design, so European regulations. And they are standard equipped with electronic expansion valve, and this is a standard feature for the whole portfolio. They are also equipped with the EC plug fans, so ensuring very low energy consumption and excellent noise levels. And they can be offered with different levels of static pressure. 120 or 300 Pascal, but that can be modulated according to what is the plant needs, because the unit is equipped with standard EC plug fans, also able to ensure continuous condensing and evaporating pressure control. These type of units, as you can see, are suitable for indoor installations, and so can be installed in buildings with ducted air supply and intake, and are available in two versions, with horizontal flow, where you can see this is the duct for air inlet and this is the duct for air discharge, so horizontal flow version, and vertical airflow version, so where the inlet is always horizontal and the outlet is vertical. The two versions do not have any differences in cost, and they can be easily switched on site. So, for example, in case of misunderstandings with the customer, a vertical airflow unit can be switched in a horizontal airflow unit because it's just a matter of removing one panel, the top panel, to be removed and be mounted on the side panel. With this one, I have completed the range water-cooled units. So CWC is the product family name for the water-cooled range, which is from 50 up to 700 kW of capacity. Here we can grant multiple levels of efficiency, standard and very high efficiency, and also heat pump version. All units are equipped with scroll compressors by Danfoss, high efficiency swept heat exchanger, electronic expansion valve, and they can be offered with either a closed casing or an open casing that we will see in the other slides. Very flexible units, a wide range because we are talking about 82 models, very compact footprint, very high efficiency. Let me mention SEER and SEOP ratio, which are far above the minimum eco-design requirements. Dual circuit available, very easy maintenance granted by the flexible design. Here you can see some pictures showing the design of the unit. The first one with single circuit with a closed frame. The second one with dual circuit as an open flame that can be closed by purchasing optional panels. With this new range, we offer more flexibility because we offer also multiple hydraulic version, multiple noise version with the low noise and super low noise, and the most important thing is the compact dimension and design, because the unit can be installed by putting alongside along the wall, and the most important thing is the width of the unit, which is maximum 800 centimeters. It means that it passes very easily through a door. Here is a sketch to show you how the heat pump version reversible on the water side works. But I will go ahead because we have a lot to say, as just mentioned. So let me finalize this session. Till now we saw the on-off range from 20 more or less up to 700 kW of capacity in cooling only heat pump version, but we also saw that units are available as condensing units. Now we want to analyze the inverter range. So from 5 up to more than 200 kW of capacity, we can offer a full inverter range with chillers, heat pumps, but also multi-pipe units. In this slide, we have a very nice picture of our inverter compressors range. Max VS for small capacity for residential and very light commercial application. Epic, which is cooling only for small commercial and light and heavy commercial application. IRAC, which is the heat pump, and 4VS EA, which is the multi-pipe units, but we will discover the multi-pipe units in the second part of this presentation. First of all, why variable speed technology? And what does variable speed technology offer means? It's a continuous modulation of the cooling and heating capacity according to what the plant is really requiring. Basically, the use of inverter allows to modulate the capacity of the chiller of the heat pump according to the plant demands, and this helps to optimize the efficiency, and therefore by optimizing the efficiency we can grant higher energy saving. As you saw, we have a very wide range of inverter units, but we will see it in details later. But let me tell you also why inverter solutions and why energy efficiency at part load is so important. This is so important because very often we were used to design systems by giving more attention to the full load operation, while if you look at the whole life cycle of a chiller or a heat pump, the chiller mostly works at partial load for 98% of the time. Of course, this can change by plant, but this is the way to say that it's important to look at the partial load operation of a chiller, not at the full load, if we really want to save energy and if we really want to grant a lower operating cost for our HVAC systems. The factors that affect the system's load, you know, are the seasonal and daily variation of the ambient temperature, but also the indoor loads. So think about a meeting room or discos, where the number of people inside the room changes so heavily throughout the days, and also the capacity of the chiller should be adapted to this indoor loads constantly changing. Well, that's why it's important to offer and grant partial load efficiency. And of course, the variable speed solution, the inverter solution, is the best way to reduce the energy consumption and to increase high efficiency at part load. Our solution is made by single circuit unit with single inverter compressors, but also with single circuit unit with tandem compressors, but also dual circuit unit with the dual compressors and tandem compressors. Here I want to just give you an explanation of the logic of starts up and start off of the tandem compressors. As you can see in the picture, the blue color of compressor is from Danfoss. We use Danfoss VSD compressors with VSD from Danfoss. It means the full package from our suppliers. And here is the way the compressors are managed. First of all, the inverter compressor is started, then the on-off compressor is started once the capacity of the inverter compressors is reached at 100%. And to give the other modulation, once the load is at maximum speed, we can switch on again the on-off compressor. So the tandem is made by one inverter compressor and one on-off compressors, and the inverter compressor is started first, and when the capacity load is increased, we switch on the on-off, and to increase more the capacity, we switch on again the second inverter compressor. Let's discover the range. Max VS from 5 up to 15 kW of capacity. This is a heat pump, and it's coming soon with R32 refrigerant. But we also can increase our capacity from 50 up to 260 kilowatt. There's a small hole that we are going to cover next year with the solution between 20 and 80 kilowatt of capacity. So till now our range is from 5 to 17, and then from 50 up to 260 in both the cooling only and heat pumps. But as just mentioned, in 2021, we will launch a full product range covering also from 20 up to 80 kW of capacity with inverter scroll compressors. Some units are equipped also with easy fans to offer a very full inverter solution. I will take a small break, if you agree, and then after 10 minutes, we will go ahead discovering our solutions for energy savings with the total recovery systems and our development plan for 2020 and 2021. In the meantime, if someone of you is still available, not taking the break, if any question by chat or even by audio, I'm available. But I need some support from the host because I don't know how to handle. Maybe it's easier by chat, maybe.
Okay. Hello, Lucia.
Hello.
We didn't receive any questions yet. They are preparing their questions for the end of our presentation.
Okay, great. Okay, so we agreed to read the question and answer at the end.
If anyone has any questions right now, we are ready to answer. Okay, we can take short questions.
Great.
We received a question asking if we can make selection of chillers at ambient temperature of 50 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So our standard operating map usually gives the full load capacity at 46 centigrade, but most 90% of our product portfolio is able to work up to 52 centigrade at partial load. It means that when the temperature is increasing, we reduce a little bit the capacity of the unit by switching off some compressors if the unit is equipped with multiple compressors, or if the unit is equipped with multiple circuits, to ensure operation at higher temperatures. By the way, we also offer optionals to reach up to 52 centigrade, and usually this kind of let's say optional can be discussed and agree on a customized, let me say, solution with our engineering team, and we are available to give you support and to give you also our contribution, and all our engineering team is available to support you for this.
We received another question that if we are AHRI certified.
No, for the time being, we are not HRI certified. We are just.
But all our range is Eurovent certified.
The whole range is Eurovent certified. We are Eurovent certified, as Eurovent is the most required certification in European, but also in several Middle East countries. HR, I think we didn't evaluate till now because our customer didn't require for it, but consider that in terms of regulations and in terms of reliability, they use more or less the same logic of Eurovent. So it's just a question, in my opinion, of market. In European market, Eurovent certification is more often required, while in other countries HRI is required.
Also, for big projects, it's more important to make compliance sheet to see if we cover all the requirements. It will be better than just checking our certificate. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We will take this final question, then come back again. Someone is asking, Mr. Mina Salah, he's asking about the modular chillers, how we can add more cooling capacity or chiller in future for existing projects.
Great. Just let me, can I share again my screen? Just a second. Am I sharing?
Yes, you're sharing screen.
Okay. So yes, you're right. I was too fast because I was scared to do not have enough time to explain. So Domino is a modular chiller. Why called modular? Modular because it can grant modularity from 2 points of view: hydraulic and control. Let me explain. For example, you have a plant extension coming next year, but for the time being, you just want to purchase the single module for the existing building, knowing that the building can be extended, enlarged in the future, but right now you just need one module, 50 kilowatts, 70 kilowatts of capacity. Okay, the most important thing is to purchase the module as it is, nothing to add at the first time you purchase the unit. So unit as it is here in the slide. Okay. Once you want to add a new unit and you want to add a new unit coupling them together with the hydraulic modules, you can just purchase the second unit and this optional connection kit, which is called hydraulic connection kit. Basically, you get the unit with hydraulic manifolds for delivery and return. You also get Victaulic couplings. Then after 1 year, you can install the second module close to the first one, mount this hydraulic connection kit. And at this stage, you have the hydraulic modularity. Then there's an additional controller that can be mounted whenever you need it. His name is multi-manager controller. That is a control system able to manage from the electronic point of view by means of a bus connection to the unit. It can manage up to 6 different units. Different in terms of also capacity and type. So, for example, let's take the example of building enlargement, building extension. Now you need 70 kilowatt of capacity and you just buy and purchase and install a single chiller. Tomorrow you need 150 and you want to add another module. You add the other module by purchasing the second module and the hydraulic connection kit together with this separate controller, connecting by bus the controller to both units. The controller will manage the 2 units as slaves. His function will be the master. So the controller is the master and the 2 separate units will be its slaves. The logic will be to manage the system as a single unit, but not only managing, let me say, the single modules, but managing each single steps of each unit. So managing and controlling and regulating each single compressor. As you can see, every unit has dual compressor. So the multi-manager controller will be able to manage the 2 modules as a single modules, but as a single, let me say, as a complex system made by 2 circuits and 4 compressors. So by switching on each single step and each single compressor of the module, of the system, sorry. Hopefully I replied to the question.
Yes, you clarified it very well. Now we can get back to our presentation and have the questions at the end.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Great. So Shaima just told me that we have a little bit more of time. So hopefully for this second part of the presentation, I will speak a little bit slower and tell you more details about products.
We can extend our time for extra 10 minutes if you need.
Okay, great.
So that you can clarify this part very well.
Okay.
20 minutes for this part is okay for you?
20 is okay for me for this part, 20 minutes. And we can take additional 10 minutes for final question if you agree.
Great, okay, I'm with you.
Okay, so
thank you.
Let's go ahead. Now, till now we saw basically this first part on the website, and you can register an account and download, we will give you access and download everything. So the purpose of this presentation is to very quickly give you an overview of who we are and what we do. Till now we saw air-cooled chillers and heat pumps, range on-off and inverter compressors, scroll solutions with R410. Let's say that till now we saw products able to work in a standard condition. So in terms of heating capacity and heating production, they are not able to reach very high temperatures. Now we will discover a range air-cooled, made by air-cooled heat pumps for high temperature application, between 20 kilowatt of capacity and 150 more or less kilowatt of capacity. This range is equipped with a different technology in terms of compressor. We use liquid or vapor injection compressor by Danfoss and Copeland. They can grant a very high reliability system, and this technology, this compressor, is able to ensure very high outlet water temperature up to 65 centigrade in living water temperature, and also very low outdoor temperature. Let's say that in Italy we never reach minus 20, but I assume that also in Egypt minus 20 centigrade is difficult to be reached. But what it's interesting is to grant 65 degree of living water temperature. So according to product range, we use Danfoss or Copeland compressors, and these compressors are different from the standard one because are heating optimized. What does it mean? It means that their performance is very good in heating mode. They can ensure reliable operation despite the very wide, the very big compression ratio needed to increase the condensing temperature up to 65 centigrade. Here we have a sketch representing the operating map of this kind of unit we call EXR range. So EXR means extended operative range. So these are heat pumps able to work at high outlet water temperature, both at low outdoor temperature, but even at high outdoor temperature. So look here, the map, we can see that we can reach a living water temperature up to 65 centigrade and keep this temperature from an ambient temperature down to minus 10 up to 20 centigrade, and grant 60 centigrade of living water temperature even at plus 42 centigrade of ambient temperature. This means that these units are suitable also to, for example, deliver domestic hot water because they are able to grant hot water in a very wide operating range. With the blue line, we have represented also a traditional R410 compressor, which is not equipped with the liquid or the vapor injection system. Basically, thanks to this technology, we are able to grant higher condensing temperature and the lower evaporating temperature. That translates in let's say, in the water and ambient temperature meanings is a higher outlet water temperature and lower outdoor temperature. Here is the range. So we are talking about air-cooled heat pumps equipped with scroll compressors, axial fans, and plated exchangers from 19 more or less of cooling capacity up to 33 models. So for small and light commercial application, Max EXR, able to reach plus 65 centigrade in living water temperature. And above this capacity, we move to another product family called Domino EXR with the same technology, but reaching up to 145 kilowatt in cooling capacity. In heating, as you can see, the capacity is from 22, 23 up to 170. Let me think about the possible application. Of course, whenever you need cooling, whenever you need heating, at very high outlet water temperature, so plus 65 centigrade, or heating also at very low ambient or high ambient temperature, because we have seen in this operating map, we are able to keep 65 centigrade at plus 42 of outdoor air temperature, which is a very great result for an heat pump. Consider also that to grant this, to allow this an operation, a reliable operation with this wide operating range, all the units was carefully designed in terms of coils and in terms of heat exchangers. So we pay a lot of attention to a careful design of the unit, and all of them, as you know, is Eurovan certified and tested in our Eurovan certified laboratory in our factory. So this one is useful for apartments, villas, but also office buildings, wherever there's a need of high living water temperatures. Okay, now we have seen high temperature heat pumps. Let me now change completely the topic. We will now analyze our multifunctional systems for 2+2 pipes, but also for 4 and 6 pipes system. This technology is exploiting basically the total recovery function. What is a multifunctional unit? We will see it in the coming slide, but let me tell you, the multifunctional unit is, from the technical point of view, an heat pump with the total recovery. It means that it is an heat pump equipped with an additional heat exchanger. Depending on the type of system you have, either is a 2+2 pipe system or either it's a 4 pipe system, the multifunctional unit is different in its control and its refrigeration circuit. During this presentation, I will show you not only the range in terms of capacity, but I also want to spend a little bit more time in explaining why these units are so innovative. And let me tell you that we have been developing and launching these units since a long time. Our first multifunctional unit was launched in the market in 1996. So we have a very long history in developing total recovery systems. So I want to explain you why these units is really important for saving energy, and give you also an overview, a brief overview of its operating mode. As also our general manager introduced in the beginning, this technology was crucial for the acquisition made by Ingersoll in 2013. So basically, knowing that Thermocold was forefront in developing multifunctional solutions, multifunctional systems, we were able to develop this strong relationship with Ingersoll and with the train company, especially because of multifunctional technology. Okay, here we have a slide representing the full product range. So two different type of technology. Units for 2+2 pipe systems and units for 4 or 6 pipe systems. What does it mean, multifunctional unit for 2+2 pipe systems? It means that the unit is designed to provide cooling and heating by using 2 pipes, and hot sanitary water or hot water in general using 2 pipes. So this 2+2 pipe unit is what we called energy unit, and the purpose is to produce cooling and heating from one heat exchanger and to produce heating from another heat exchanger. Later we will see where the recovery is placed in this technology. The multifunctional unit for 4 pipe systems and 6 pipes is a different unit and is designed to produce simultaneous cooling and heating. So what does it mean? It is a unit equipped with 2 heat exchanger, exactly as the energy, 2 heat exchanger, but one dedicated to cooling and the other dedicated to heating, and that can be used to produce cooling and heating at the same time. Basically, what is different is the type of system, the type of plant. The 4 pipe unit is suitable for 4 pipe systems. It means 4 pipes, fan coils as well. While the 2+2 pipe unit is suitable for a traditional 2 pipe system equipped with a 2 pipes fan coil, but it offers a separate section, an additional section for the hot sanitary water production or for the hot water production in general. As you can see, we have a very wide range. Energy prozone and energy prozone EA, which differs only for efficiency. 4 prozone, 4 prozone and 4 prozone EA, the same logic. EA means high efficiency. This is a 4 pipe unit. Then we also have a 4 pipe unit with VSD scroll compressors, with inverter scroll compressors, and 6 pipe units. A 6 pipe basically is a 4 pipe plus partial heat recovery by means of desuperators. Let's go more in deep now. We will start to explain the technology, the total recovery technology available with the multifunctional unit for 2+2 pipe systems. So what is a multifunctional unit for 2+2 pipe systems? It's basically a heat pump equipped with an additional heat exchanger. So we have the heat exchanger, which is an evaporator and condenser used to produce cooling and heating that can be connected to a fan coil, traditional 2 pipe fan coil system. And we have an additional heat exchanger, a total heat recovery exchanger that can be used to produce hot water for domestic, for sanitary purpose. So by reversing the cycle on the water evaporator condenser, it is possible to supply air conditioning at the same time time, the unit can also produce for sanitary use. Let's see as an example. Here we have in the operating mode is that this unit is able to follow several operating modes. In cooling, in summer, the unit is able to work as a simple chiller. So producing chilled water for air conditioning by using the evaporator condenser heat exchanger. So connected to the two pipe systems of fan coils. When in summer there is need of hot water for domestic purpose, this hot water can be produced free of charge. Why? Because we can switch off fans and recover the usually is disposed through the finite pack coil. This heating can be recovered and used to heat the water using the total recovery heat exchanger. In this way, heating capacity is produced through a separate heat exchanger called heat recovery capacity, and it is produced free of charge. In this specific operating mode, it's like having a water cooler are totally switched off, and the condensing heat is entirely recovered in a separate heat exchanger, so a total heat recovery heat exchanger, to produce hot water free of charge. But what differs this unit from a standard chiller equipped with a heat recovery is the possibility to produce hot water without having the cooling load. So the unit can produce only domestic hot water by displacing the heat through the finite coil pack. What does it mean? It means hot water all over the year, like a heat pump for domestic uses, for so domestic hot water production, by using only the total heat recovery heat exchanger, having the other heat exchanger deactivated because it is not needed, and exploiting the energy through air using the coil, the finite pack coil heat exchanger. So in this operating mode, the unit behaves like a standard heat pump, but working on the total heat recovery heat exchanger to produce heating. It's a heat pump, standard heat pump operating mode, but hot water on the two pipes dedicated to domestic hot water system, for example. What else? It is possible also to produce hot water for domestic uses and hot water for heating at the same time, and also only heating for the space heating, for example. In this operating mode, the unit behaves like a boiler, basically. But the most important operation is the operation ensured in cooling plus recovery, because in this specific operating mode, the production of hot water is total. Let me give you some example in terms of application. This system is for sure suitable for applications like hotels, for example, because hotels need hot water for sanitary purposes, but all hotels also need the climate, so need air conditioning. In this way, at the same time, the unit can produce heating and cooling. Cooling will be used for air conditioning purposes, while heating will be used to produce hot water for sanitary purpose, but free of charge. This is the most important thing. In this operating mode, think about the efficiency. If you produce, the fans are switched off, the efficiency that you are able to reach is something like 7 percentages. It means that for every euro you spend of kilowatt, you can get up to 7 times the heating and the cooling capacity. This is possible because in this specific operating mode, total heat recovery mode, the condensing heat is not rejected through air, while it is recovered in a separate heat exchanger, which is the total heat recovery heat exchanger, to use to produce. Hotel is a typical application, but also centralized residential to produce heating and cooling at the same time, but also wellness centers, gyms. So whenever there is a need of hot sanitary water and also cooling at the same time. The major part of the year you can grant both cooling and heating loads simultaneous at the same time, the higher will be the energy efficiency that this unit can deliver. But the most important thing is that this unit is also able to produce hot water when there is not cooling load. Even in summer, even when the temperature is very high, it's not so high outdoor and you don't need cooling. If you have a chiller plus total recovery, you will not be able to get hot water. And this system ensures to get hot water 365 days per year, so all over the year, independently from the cooling load. That's why this unit is different from a standard chiller with total recovery. The range. We're talking about a range developed for small commercial and heavy commercial application. So from 50 up to 500 for the energy per zone with the standard efficiency, while for the high efficiency version, we can reach up to 800 kilowatt of capacity. This unit is equipped, as you see, with the scroll compressors and swap heat exchangers and axial fans by EBM. Okay, we have seen till now the multifunctional unit for 2+2 pipe systems. So just let me recap briefly. 2 pipes connected to fan coil systems and the additional other 2 pipes that can be used to produce hot sanitary water. That's why we call it 2+2 pipe. And the same name is given also by Eurovent certification program. What is it? What is instead a multifunctional unit for a 4-pipe system? A multifunctional unit, even called multi-tube according to our catalog, is one unit that can satisfy needs of a hydronic system, demanding cooling and heating at the same time, but also cooling and heating load independently. So it's a single unit two separate sections, but one producing only heating, the other producing only cooling. Here we have a sketch in this drawing showing the 4 pipe systems. Basically, as you can see, this unit is connected to a 4 pipe plant, to a 4 pipe system. You need to have 4 pipes, 4 water pipes delivering water on your fan coil systems. The aim is basically to meet the requirements of variable building thermal loads during the whole day, but also during the year. This technology, but this is valid also for multifunctional unit for 2+2 pipe system, is that they are equipped with an advanced controller able to understand what is the best operating mode to choose in order to satisfy the plant load. What I mean? I mean that if the plant is requiring cooling, the unit will produce only cooling. If the plant is requiring heating, the unit will produce only heating autonomously without additional BMS control, I mean. It's the controller of the unit itself that is able to change the operating mode according to what the plant is really requiring at that moment. And finally, the unit is also able to produce in time. With this specific operating mode, the logic is more or less the same we've seen before. The heating delivered is delivered free of charge. So here we have a sketch representing the connection diagram. We have 2 pipes dedicating to the heating section and 2 water pipes dedicated to the cooling section. So it's 2 separate plants, one for cooling and the other for heating. Here you have the range from 50 up to 800 kilowatt of capacity, but we also have a special, and we are unique in the market for this. We have inverter compressors. His name is 4VS-EA, and it's a full inverter solution. So a 4 pipe with inverter from 67 up to 200 more or less kilowatt of capacity. So this is the best technology, of course, if we want to really follow the plant load and variability of the plant load. Let me just go back on this slide to recap what's a 4 pipe. So a 4 pipe is suitable for all the plants requiring heating and cooling at the same time. Here, as you can see, we don't have hot sanitary water. Okay, we are close to the final part of the presentation. But before to close the presentation, we need to introduce also the 6 pipe unit. What is the 6 pipe unit? The 6 pipe unit is basically a 4 pipe equipped with additional heat exchangers. So additional desuperators able to ensure partial recovery. So a 6 pipe unit offers a partial recovery section that allows to get hot water during cooling only mode, but also during cooling plus heating mode, which is the recovery mode. So when the unit is producing cooling, so when the 6 pipe is, they can also offer an additional partial recovery by means of the superator, producing hot water free of charge. But this is available also when the unit is producing cooling and heating at the same time. So when the unit is working as a total heat recovery units, they also offer an additional partial heat recovery through the desuperator. This unit is called SEI. SEI is 6 in Italian, basically. SEI Prozone with 2 levels of efficiency, the standard and the high efficiency, and the cooling capacity range from 50 up to 800. So as you can see in the sketch, we have the evaporator delivering cooling to the cold cooling coil of the 4-pipe fan coil, a condenser delivering heating, and a partial heat recovery, the superheater, delivering hot water, for example, to a water coil of a air handling unit to ensure post-heating. Or another possible application could be to produce hot sanitary water for offices applications. Let's analyze now, very briefly, the possible applications where this technology is suitable. In buildings with a double and opposite sun exposure. It means that we have double exposure buildings with one side to the south and one side to the north. And these are typically hotels, banks, but also airports, but also shopping centers that have different intended purposes in terms of cooling and heating. Hospitals, for example, in particular, surgery rooms that require cooling all over the year, and other areas requiring heating. But also data centers where there are areas requiring heating and areas requiring cooling. And would be opposite loads in same buildings. Discotheques, where you need to cool down the dance floor area while in maybe offices area or other areas dedicated to conversation might need heating, for example. But also movie theaters, so cinemas. So wherever there is a very high load, also just needed for high number of persons in the same room, for example. We have just finalized the part dedicated to total heat recovery. Let me quickly give you an overview regarding control systems. Here we have the multi-manager technology. As I mentioned in the slide dedicated to modular solution, a multi-manager is our controller, centralized control, that is able to control a group of units. Multi-manager basically is a controller that allows to manage with a single device, so the controller, a group of hydronic units in a modular configuration. It is suitable for the whole Thermocold portfolio, strongly suggested in a combination with the domino system, because in that way you get a full modular package, so on both hydraulic connection and electronic control. And this controller is able to manage and control 6 different units having equal or different capacity on both 2 or 4 pipes systems. So with the single controller, you are also able to manage mixed systems. So think about a system made by 1 4-pipe, 1 heat pump, 1 chiller plus recovery. With this controller, you can manage up to 6 units, even of different kind. It is also possible to manage backup units, so 1 or more backup units. It is suitable for other chillers and heat pumps, chiller plus total recovery and 4-pipe units. So it is able to manage every kind of unit. But as well as hydraulic control, because with this controller you can manage integrated hydronic kit. So either if the pump is installed on board of the unit, either it is a separate pump you have on your own plant, you can manage it using multi-manager. And it also grants several kind of set point regulation that can be set on the inlet and on the outlet water temperature. The connection unit is managed by means of a bus connection, so RS485 connection. And with this input, this controller behaves like a brain, managing each single unit as a single system of 6 units of equal capacity, different also type. You can have one chiller, one heat pump, one 4-pipe, one chiller plus total recovery. So different type of units, different type of technology. What's the logic? The logic is to switch on the unit that can grant the higher efficiency, but also can deliver the correct capacity to the system. Important tool we offer in terms of control is the eManager. eManager Plus is a web interface that allows remote monitoring and management. With this controller, with this basically it's access to web page. With this access, by just opening a web page with every kind of browsers and adding your username and password. Of course, we deliver you a username and password. It is possible remotely, so by using a computer, but also a smartphone. You can remotely turn on and turn off the unit, change the operating mode from summer to winter, change the set point or operating, check the operating variables in real time, check eventual alarms, reset non-serious alarms, view operating charts of the unit. So basically, you can really monitor the unit remotely. And this is really important feature, especially for all those installations requiring how to say our attention, let me say. Let me conclude this presentation, this very long presentation, with our plans for 2020 ongoing. So the products we are going to present and launch until the end of this year. And we want to present and launch in 2021. Well, in 2020, what's coming soon? I already mentioned it while we were talking about inverter heat pumps. We are going to launch and present air-cooled inverter heat pumps from 5 to 20 kW of capacity, equipped with R32 as an ecologic refrigerant. We are going to extend our air-cooled chillers and heat pumps range from 150 to 200 kW of capacity with single circuit solutions. So AWA range will also have multiple solutions. The other with single circuit. So we will offer a product overlap, single and dual circuit, up to 200 kilowatt of capacity, both in cooling only and heat pump version. We will also extend our chiller range up to 850 kilowatt of capacity. So air-cooled chillers will be available up to 850. Another important, very important thing for us, especially in Europe, we will increase even more the efficiency of the whole chillers portfolio. So I mean that Max, Domino, AWA, CWC, every single unit of our catalog will have a new efficient grant higher seasonal efficiency, so higher SEER. This is absolutely mandatory and needed, especially in Europe, because from January 2021, a new regulation will be in force. A new level of SEER must be reached and ensured in order to sell units in Europe. Of course, we will have both versions. We will have the current version in the catalog and the very high efficiency version that can be sold in all countries. But this is to demonstrate to you our effort in delivering very high efficiency solutions. Another important to launch the European certification for our selection tool. We are participating also to the European product of our TELS. TELS is our Thermocold equipment online web selection tool where everyone can produce technical selection of our units at different working conditions.